I think we're back. New link. I don't even know what happened. McFly, I wonder what would happen when Trump boots JP and hires someone who is rate cut happy. Now that, my friend, would be something. Let's give it a second for people to scroll on in. I have no idea what happened. We're back, new link. The stream just disconnected. You gotta love it. Let me see if the old one, I think the old one's out. Let me see if I can get to the chat from the old one. Yeah, he got the feed. That's funny. Stubbs, you got 300. I assume you mean XRP on Kraken, new to the market. I have a Tangent wallet. Is that all I need? That's all you need, my friend. That is all you need. I can't even get back into the old chat. That's okay. Whoever migrates over, migrates over. You know, you gotta love when that happens. Unreal. You announcing the, oh, thanks, Rick. Did you drop the link for him? I can't even get to the old chat, which is wild. It's Crypto Prince, you're back. Welcome back. Thank you. YouTube crash like XP and crypto in general. Yeah, for real though. For real. Stubbs, that's all you need. Stubbs, just remember, you gotta take care of those recovery phrases, right? No one's ever going to need them. That's the most important part when you move your XRP over there. I thought it was my internet. I didn't know it was out until I think it was Rusty who said like they got him or he's gone. I didn't even know it was gone. You can't drop links. Really? I thought you would be able to. All right, let's give this a second. Everyone, if you're coming back in, this is a new link. Let me tweet it out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me so we get back into that little YouTube algo and they push out the content. Let me just post this. New YouTube link. Oof. We'll get that up and going. Craziness. So back where I was. Worst case scenario on XRP, if some crazy stuff happens in this market and we get another wick sell-off event, you get this wick dip all the way down 98 cent region, but it's not going to last long. You probably won't be able to catch it. It's going to be some kind of crazy black swan like the October 11th liquidation event, and this thing's going to bounce back to the upside. Where we are right now, current support, this $1.90-ish region, you got $1.70 and $1.50. Those are major support levels on XRP. Major support levels. I mean, it's going to take a lot of money, a lot of freaking money to break them. Jim D, welcome back. I'm back too. Fetus, I think I got that right. What will be expected for the Christmas rally? If we see a Christmas rally, I mean, XRP's next move out of here when we recover to this and we bounce back to the upside, let me map it out for you. You should be expecting your first move on this thing is going to be testing this resistance area around 245. We'll probably chill off there a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of a retest back to that 230 before we get our final move, which is going to take us back up into our price discovery. That's where this thing is going. Once this consolidation comes to an end. Question is our consolidation going to end currently where we are sitting and this $1.80? Come on, give me my pen here. Are we going to get where we are seeing right here? Are we going to end here, or are we going to come back down to $1.50-ish? That's the only thing in play. If we do retest the $1.50, we can mark it. We'll come to $1.50. We'll then make our run up to your 244. We'll then expect just a retest of this, making sure that this is real. This is what we want. And then from there, we will make the push back up into your all-time high. The price predictions I've spoken about pretty much all year of our first region for XRP have been extremely accurate. We talked about, you know, that 4 to 650 range as your first area of interest. Once we get into that range, we can figure out if we make that move to 8 to 13, which I do believe is what is coming on this thing. 8 to 13 seems very, very likely, but we won't know until we get to 4 to 650. 4 to 650 is your area of interest, and it always has been. Everything we have spoken about since we spoke about this entire year, 4 to 650, 4 to 650. We've been hammering like a freaking drum. That's your first area we need to pay attention to. 8 to 13 in 2030? No, it's not going to take that long. It will not take that long, especially with the ETFs and the index funds. You'll have retirement accounts live at that point. There's no shot it's around 8 to 13. You think, David, you think it needs to test a $1.50 retest? You know, it could be. 100% could be. Those are the two scenarios I'm looking at. I think it's all going to come down to Bitcoin, right? Does Bitcoin bounce from 86 and make that run to the upper $90,000 region in 100K? If it does, then here's our bottom on XRP at the time being. Here's the bottom. Still, man, why do people continue saying we are in a bull market? Does any of this year look like a bull market? Well, yeah, because we're in a bull market since Bitcoin's been above 74,000. That was the start of the bull market. Right? We haven't invalidated that. An invalidation on Bitcoin of 74K would turn this market completely bare. You have to remember though, still, a bull market doesn't just mean we get crazy green days, right? A bull market means that your structures on these charts remain bullish. That's a bull market. And Bitcoin remains bullish. XRP remains bullish. Those structures haven't been broken. When they break the area, or I should say the starting point of where they started the bull market breakout, that is when we can flip into a bear. But I mean, Bitcoin's still 85,000. That's super, super bullish. 85K with everything we've been through, right? We're close to bear market territory, 74K. It's either 74 or 76. I need to look. But we haven't broken it yet. So we haven't flipped bear. We're still bull. That's why we keep saying it. How long you think this Japan reverse carry trade may last to next all-time highs? The great question, my friend. We need a whole video on that. I got a video coming out on that on this channel. It's either out today or tomorrow, or it came out 2 days ago. I broke this down in depth, the whole Japan reverse carry trade, what it means, what we're looking for. I suggest you go watch it. It's a beautiful thing. We'll be there soon enough. We could. And you know what it means though, Stillman? It means that altcoins are going to run. There's never been a bull cycle in history. And we're talking about over the past 12 years where altcoins have not ran. So if Bitcoin does break down from here, it just means the rotation is going to start into altcoins. So either way you look at it, to me, it's a win-win. Either Bitcoin goes up here, you know, 97, 104K, wherever it wants to go, and the rest of the market follows it, or Bitcoin rolls over and money rotates out of BTC and rotates into your altcoins. So it's a win-win, whichever way we look at it. Unless you're a Bitcoin holder, obviously, and you bought Bitcoin above 74,000, then I guess it's a lose, right? Rusty says, not sure if I DCA, XRP, or HBAR have both at the moment. So Rusty, the way I would be looking at it is I would see what my dollar cost average is below the current price on, and I would lower my dollar cost average. That's how I always position these things. If your XRP DCA, then lower it on XRP. If it's HBAR, lower it on HBAR. If both of them are under the current price, maybe look into a third asset, because we never want to raise a DCA, right? You always want to lower a DCA, not raise it. The entire market got delayed almost a year between COVID and other things. Yeah, between COVID, the government shutdown, the Fed dragging their feet on cutting rates, the whole market got delayed. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The government one was a huge one too, if you think about it, because it delayed institutional money from entering the market, right? It delayed your ETFs. ETFs bring institutional money, and we're talking, I mean, look at XRP. It's done over $1 billion already. Think about how much money's lost. Think about all the ETFs that are on the sidelines that are still waiting to get approved for XRP, Solana, Chainlink, Ondo, Avalanche, Litecoin. There's so many of them, and they're just sitting there because they haven't got signed over yet. So that's what we're looking at. Jim D, the problem is the Bitcoin traders are leveraging Bitcoin to buy altcoins. Yeah. Well, the Bitcoin leverage people, they're going to get flushed. They're going to get flushed. All these people that are leveraging right now, they're out of their minds. They're all going to get wiped. They all are. Sag says, at 71 freaking years old, I would sell it all at 13 bucks. Hey man, if it hit 13 bucks, I'm selling it all with you. Me and you we'll coast off into a retirement world. Rick says XRP will not hit 60 cents. It got way too much behind it. Yeah, who said that? Where was that comment, Rick? I missed that one. XRP is not going to 60 cents. No shot. There's no shot. Not even close. 60 cents, man. I need whoever said 60 cents, give me what you're on. It ain't going back down there. You don't have any Bitcoin. I had all my faith in XRP, but not seeing much with all the magical news of Ripple being coming to bank and crypto friendly admin and so on. Yeah, but Stillman, that's what they want you to think, right? And I'm telling you, the video, I'm pretty sure I made the video today. It's going to be out tomorrow. It is. It's going to be out tomorrow on this channel. I talk about this exact narrative, Stillman. This is what you want. They want all the news to come out because people think that the price is going to react, and then the price doesn't move and people move off of their positions and then they full send it. It's always been the case with XRP. News does not move price. If anything, news moves the price downward, and then people get even more pissed off. Why do we get all this great news and the price is going backwards? That's XRP's playbook, and that's what they do, and that's called market makers. That is what that's called, market makers. Irish says flash crash to $1, bro. Possibly. If we do see a flash crash, I got around like 98 cents is where I would be looking for a flash crash. Jeez, I can't talk. But it wouldn't last long. It would be like that. It would be super fast. Boom. It would be October 11th, and then it would rip back out of there to the upside. It's definitely a possibility. 100%. My mushroom, will you leave a noon M? I don't know what that is. K Graham, what is your opinion on a 5-year cycle being now versus no cycle ever happening now? What is your opinion on a 5-year cycle beginning now versus no cycle ever happening again now that institutional adoption has begun? Great question. As far as a 5-year cycle, 100%, because of all the delays we have experienced, this cycle is pushing into 2026. As far as like cycles going away, 100%. I've been speaking about this since 2020. Your cycles are getting shorter and shorter every 4 years. And the more institutional money that enters this market and the more use that we actually get on these assets, the crypto market will act like the stock market at some point, right? Your 8 to 12% is going to be considered a good year. There's going to be no more 700% rallies in a matter of 6 weeks. Institutions would never enter a market like that. They can never tell their $1 million clients, hey, let's get crypto, but don't worry, your 20 million might go down to 1 million, but it might also rebound from your 1 million to 40 million. They would never enter it. We wouldn't have a market. And Bitcoin, the whole thing, Bitcoin controls the market, that's going away as well, right? You don't have a crypto market if everything just follows Bitcoin. And that's exactly what these ETFs are doing. They're causing these assets to decouple. Now, it's not going to happen overnight with the ETFs. It's going to take time. It's going to take volume, but your ETFs will be the decoupling event. That's why I said back in 2017, it was super hard to know what crypto to buy, right? You didn't know who was going to still be around, who was going to enter a real use case, I should say. But now it's very clear. If I was getting into crypto today, I would only be looking at assets that have ETFs coming to them, because clearly there's going to be a high demand of money entering them, right? If your asset doesn't have an ETF, or an ETF's not in talks, not in the works, I wouldn't touch it. ETFs bring in millions beyond millions, billions of dollars, as we've seen with XRP. ETFs are going to be opened up to your retirement accounts so they can invest into it. That is where the money is going to be. XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Chainlink, Ondo, Avalanche, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Solana, just to name a few, right? That's 10 just off the tip of my tongue. But that's where you want to be looking, where the institutional money is going to be and where the institutions are going to be becoming your cheerleaders. Because you want the institutions talking about what you hold and pumping what you hold. We've never had this opportunity before, and now we do. So it's huge. It is absolutely huge. Jim D, the problem of taking profits on a huge XRP pump is who wants to hold junk Ponzi fiat digital stablecoins? Need to go to gold, silver, or platinum. Yeah, and I think we're going to get to a world where stablecoins are going to be accepted, everywhere you go. I think stablecoins are going to be like your new Apple Pay. Even crypto is going to be like your new Apple Pay. You're going to be walking in, you're just going to be scanning an app, and it's going to boom. It's going to take crypto, or it's going to take a stablecoin out of your wallet. This is how Apple Pay works. Everyone laughed at Apple Pay when it came out. Who's going to use this? Who's going to pay with their phone? That's all people do now. Now the narrative has changed. Who uses cash? Who carries cash anymore? Everything is swiping or scanning, right? That's where the world is going. Darth Vader, hello, Rip. Is this an emergency live, Darth? We're just talking about current market sentiment, trying to get everyone to just relax a little bit and breathe, talking about how we believe that we're going to get a bounce out of here on Bitcoin is what we're going over right now. We won't be live too much longer. We'll cover more of this in depth on Wednesday at the normal live stream. And I know there's a football game going on right now. Who's winning? I got Dolphins. I need Dolphins in that game. Stillman says ETFs haven't done anything for XRP that I can tell. Also, XRP seems to do better when no one mentions it. Yeah, well, Stillman, because all the volume for the ETFs, they're buying it off over the counter. We will not see the price appreciation until your over the counter needs to source from the public order books. Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, they didn't have enough from the miners to provide the ETF issuers, especially BlackRock. So what did they do? They had to go to the public order book, and that's when Bitcoin broke its all-time high for the first time ever before the halving event even occurred. It's the same playbook with XRP. It's the same playbook for all of your assets that have ETFs. So it just takes a little bit of time is what it's doing. 0-0, thank you. Appreciate that. Good. I got under in Dolphins. Love that. 3-0 Miami, even better. Even better. Tua sucks in the cold. I'm surprised they're up. Flare drops to stop in next month. Yes, they are. And then we start looking at Flare next year. Biggest wealth transfer for who? Not for us yet, Matt. We gotta wait, man. Not for us yet. What's gonna get there? Crypto minion, just buy spot dips. That's it. It really is that simple. Look, crypto is a very simple game, and I tell people this. You buy red and you sell green. That's it. Buy red, sell green. If you stick to a strategy like that, you can't lose. If the Clarity Act makes Ripple burn its escrow without destroy the prices, well, yeah, Clarity Act won't make them burn its escrow now. Most of that escrow is 100% pre-allocated. Most of it's pre-allocated. David Schwartz came out not too long ago, maybe like a month or two ago, and he said that XRP in Ripple's escrow could 100% be pre-allocated. Most of that's already given out, assigned out. Whether that's going to these big corporate central banks, countries, who knows, right? We do know that there's over 1,700 NDAs. We know that from the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. I would not be surprised if a lot of those are banks and governments that are holding XRP that's in the escrow. Crypto Prince, I sold most of my Bitcoin cheap. If I waited, I would be so rich. Oh, man. I feel you, though. But you know what? You got another opportunity. It's here with XRP, right? You live and you learn. You live and you learn, man. We just get smarter. That's it. Why do you guys ignore Larson selling? Chris Larson selling's nothing burger, though. I have not heard of time. Well, I heard of time. I've not looked into time. Larson selling's not really affecting anything. It's been the same thing since I've been in the markets for 8 years. There's so much liquidity on the books that he's not really affecting the price that much. And if it does cause a negative reaction, the price gets bought right back up. Pre-allocated, not pre-release. Yes, correct. Did I say that? Pre-allocated, yes. As Rick said, it's pre-allocated, not pre-release. Yes, it cannot be pre-released. It is in a time-locked escrow. A time-locked escrow, so it cannot get pre-released. 100% correct. Larson sold to support Evernorth. Yeah, but you have to remember, Evernorth is going to be one of the biggest XRP treasuries out there, and they will be buying XRP. And now think about it. I did a video on it. Ashish Burla used to work for Ripple. He had a slip up mentioning Amazon and Uber at a Canadian payments conference. And now he started Evernorth to hoard XRP. What does the guy know that we don't know, right? He was behind closed doors. If he knows what's coming and he knows the evaluation of XRP is going to be higher, wouldn't you try to stack as much as you can through every means possible? I mean, he's like the Michael Saylor, but for XRP, right? Evernorth gets XRP like Michael Saylor's strategy gets Bitcoin. He knows something's coming. And then BlackRock, Robbie Mitchneck, who used to work for Ripple, now works at BlackRock as their head of digital assets. When he worked for Ripple, he put out a fair evaluation framework on the price of XRP. I'm pretty sure Robbie Mitchneck, who got hired as the head of BlackRock's digital assets, knows what he's talking about, right? Think Jake lost his best? Oh, 100%. That bet never had a chance of winning. Never had a chance of winning. David Rip, do you have a family office? No, no family office. Rick, do you have any info on when Ripple is going to start with their banking? I would, I mean, I got approved today. I would assume they're going to hit the ground up and running. And all of those companies that they just purchased, they are going to be able to hit the ground running with them, right? Your Ripple Prime is going to be able to take off. Palisade for the stablecoin usage as well. They're all going to be able to take off. But hold on, give me a second. I got to go get my dog. He's getting dropped off. Be right back. All right, I'm back. We got the dog. He just got dropped off from the sister. We're good to go. Should you invest in XLM? I like XLM. I still continue to buy XLM every single week. Just my personal take on it. I think XLM has always followed XRP. I don't see why it wouldn't. I like what they're doing with stablecoins as well. I'm a fan of them. I'm a big fan of them. Did Evernorth buy a bunch of XRP? Yeah, they bought a shit ton of XRP, and they're not done. They're going to be doing a large buy in Q1 of next year as well. VM says, is the ETF companies using 40 billion XRP as over-the-counter purchase escrow ones? No, they are not. They are not coming from escrow. They are coming from the market makers on the over-the-counter books, not from escrow. Math says, imagine YouTubers when XRP hits $3 back to where it was. I can see now all folks major wealth hype BS. Well, major wealth at $3. I mean, I guess it depends. If you hold 2 million XRP, you make major wealth at $3, right? But it's going a lot higher than $3. We don't have anything. $3 is nothing. It's making a new all-time high next year. Chris says, I have charted it out. $10 to $12 price. TGT. What's TGT? You talking about XRP's price, 10 to 12 bucks? I'm with you. I got 8 to 13. 8 to 13 has been my range. Wormhole and Ripple partnership. Yes, Wormhole and Ripple sidechain expansion onto 4 different chains was announced today. I think it was like Optimism Inc. Was it Sui in there? I forget the 4. I covered it this morning. Rusty Rip, can you talk the potential use case of XRP for general currency? Rather than hold tokens, use of drops, 1 drop buys you a coffee, etc. Yeah, I mean, Rusty, that's really just breaking it down into the smallest possible denomination and its drops. I mean, XRP for a general currency, I don't really see how it would work for a general currency, just because general currency can't, or it shouldn't have fluctuations. Like a US dollar, one US dollar is always going to be a US dollar. XRP in that case is not a stable coin. It will fluctuate. RLUSD perhaps. So I don't see it as a general currency. I see it more as a bridge asset or backing, a possible backing of a currency, which is far out into left field, but not as like a general. I mean, it could be used as a general currency if we want to talk about someone developing an app, but if we're talking about like country level, I don't see that. I think that's what you're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. Stillman, sorry. Stillman, I get it, man. That's why I popped up the live stream. I should be watching a football game right now. But I know I see the sentiment. Trust me, you should see my YouTube comments. Savages out there. You know, and sometimes it's just good to get on like this and to talk about it and to map it out and to review the information so we understand that we are right? We are correct. And it's good to get the insurance from others that you aren't crazy, because we're not crazy. We aren't crazy. Matt says Jake probably lost a lot if it didn't hit 100. You lose trust. Yeah, 100%. Well, Matt, as I said before, look, man, he made a prediction 2024 is going to be 3 digits. He said 4 digits in 2025. He's now saying 5 digits in 2026. Every year he just adds a 0. None of it has come to life. I mean, it is what it is, right? People are entitled to their own opinion, right? At the end of the day, you can't take that wrong. Is iTrustCapital truly safe? Yes, iTrustCapital. Remember, with iTrustCapital, they do not actually hold your cryptocurrency. It is being held in institutional custody, either by Fidelity, Coinbase, or Fireblocks. Coinbase and Fidelity. I mean, Coinbase is a publicly traded company. They're not going anywhere. Fidelity's been around for how long? They're not going anywhere. And Fireblocks is one of the biggest crypto custodians in the world. They are not going anywhere. So you don't have to worry about like a link to moment, right? With all that shady shit that went on behind the scenes. iTrust is just giving you a platform, but they do not control your currency. And the beautiful thing I like about iTrust is that if you were to click a wrong link, if you were to get hacked, they cannot move your crypto off of the platform. The only thing they can do is cash it out. And it goes into your bank account. They can't link another bank account. It goes directly into your bank account. So if you are looking to hold long-term, look into iTrust. I got a link. Use it if you please. You get $100. If you don't want to use it, hey, that's cool with me. It's cool with me. You know what I mean? 1970 hold. Hey, Rip, when do we turn bullish again? January, February, March? 1970, I think we're about to flip bullish right now is what I'm looking at. Not like today, this moment, but I am looking for a bounce on Bitcoin from here, which is going to turn us back bullish. So I'm looking for the bullish trend to start any day now. If not today, if 86 wasn't the bottom, and it's going to roll over into next year as well. This right here, it's a roller coaster. It's crypto. What do we expect? You know what I mean? So glad I didn't invest with Link 2. Almost dropped 10,000 with them. Yeah, I'm happy I never got in with them either. People lost their asses on Link 2. It's disgusting. Jake also said it'll happen only if certain things fall into place. Yeah, but no, man, he also said XRP is going to be 50 to 100 bucks once we get ETFs. That didn't pan out, and ETFs are live, 5 of them, with 1 billion in volume, right? I mean, look, people put out crazy price predictions, and then they say, the sun needs to turn blue, and it's going to happen. I mean, come on. You don't do that. It's very irresponsible to do that, because you mess with people's heads. You mess with them, and people get distracted, and then your brain's a very powerful thing, and they do stupid shit, right? I fell for it in 2017. I'll be the first one to admit it with Bearable Guy. That's how I got into the space, because of freaking Bearable Guy in the Ripple Riddler. Who remembers that shit? 589. Yeah, well, we never even hit $5.89, and it's been 8 years. So it's wild, man. How low can it go, Eric? I mean, if we're talking support levels, $1.70 and $1.50. If it breaks those supports, $1.25. There is a possible scenario of a flash crash like we saw on October 10th, down to about 98 cents, but that won't last long. That's going to shoot right back up. So a bunch of different scenarios we're looking at. I think Bitcoin tends to bounce out of here and brings the rest of the market up with it, is what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? Clearly, he's just marking his biz. Oh, 100%. 100%. That's a no-brainer. You wanted to believe. Look, hey, man, I want to believe him too. I want nothing more than a 4-digit XRP. I'll settle for a 2-digit XRP, man. But it is what it is, It is what it is. Sun is not a blue giant. Yeah, well, that's true too. That's true too. You know, it's true as well. I always get these emails at night that kill my phone. Yeah, I mean, look, you got a couple of options here, right? You sit on your hands and you do nothing and you ride out the roller coaster and we wait for the bounce, which is coming, or you DCA and you scoop up some more while you can. A new all-time high is coming on XRP. The only thing my crystal ball is not telling me is how high is that all-time high going to go. Do we get 8 to 13? Do we get 19 to 30? Or do we settle and the market rolls over at 4 to 650? That's what I don't know yet. It's too early to predict that yet. You know what I mean? Rick, you still got 50 to 120, man. I want that 50 to 120. Spring been pushed back. Yeah, remember, we have another massive catalyst coming as well over the summer, right? With the stimulus checks. Last time we seen stimulus checks hit, Bitcoin ran to 69K. That's another massive catalyst that's coming in here. 20 million gone daily for 4 years equals supply gone. Yeah, it would happen sooner than that. If you do 20 million, Hub City, let's do the math real quick. 20 million a day, that's 100 million a month. That's 100 million a week, 400 million a month. That's 1.2 billion every 3 months. If we're saying this 3 to 5 to figure every quarter one, it would take a year. If we're looking at 3 to 5, it would take 6 months, or it would take until summer. Summer we would be around a little over 2 billion gone. It really depends on how much is on the over-the-counter market. And that's what we don't know. And we can't get answers to that. It's impossible. No one knows. We don't have access into that. I asked the market maker I knew. They don't know. They can only take guesses as well. But you also remember, we're doing that math, Hub. We're doing that math based off of 5 ETFs, and we're missing the big names. As soon as BlackRock steps in, that daily 20 million we're saying is going to double to 40 million, which is going to put 400 million or 40, 200 million, 800, almost a billion gone every single month. Then your timeline accelerates. It cuts into half, right? So there's a lot to play into that. December, Christmas, that's the Christmas, oh, that's the New Year's Eve rally, $2. Hey, I'll take it. Higher than $1.86, you know what I mean? Higher than $1.86. You says, I appreciate the institutional protection provided by entities such as iTrustCapital, etc. But why would you not just keep full custody and transfer everything to a cold wallet using iTrust, etc.? Is still a release distortion and focus on I read the wrong comment. Still a, where are you? Third party, you're still giving your, I see what you're saying. So this is what I would say. This is more for people who are looking to hold long term, who are afraid of getting hacked or clicking a wrong link or connecting their wallet to a wrong website, right? Or we just seen someone in the XRP community who makes videos, Jungle Inc., I think it was, he had a virus on his computer and he had to recover his ledger and he put those seed words in, but it was actually a false ledger program. When he entered them, they drained his wallet, his holdings for years, right? He's been in the space longer than me. So that's the protection that it gives you, because that cannot happen. Because even if someone did hack the account, they can't do anything. They can only hit cash out and it goes into your bank account. So that's that's the beauty of it. But if you're comfortable with getting a hardware wallet, storing your crypto in a hardware wallet, never looking at it, never touching it, having proper recovery or proper seed phrase storage written down, you know what I mean? That's the route to go, 100%. It's all about comfort level. And, you know, do you trust yourself? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know when to put up a red flag? So that's the difference with it, is what we're looking at there. And Lamago, do you think because of the Bank of Japan rate hike on Friday that we're going to do a lower low first? We 100% could, or this could be it right here. It could have been priced in today. We won't know, obviously, until Friday, and we'll either look back and be like, that was the crash on Monday, or it's going to go lower and be like, okay, well, here's the rail crash coming from it. But I mean, this could 100% be it right now. You've been selling silver to get more XRP. Yeah, Silverman's doing very well, huh? Jim D says, bots are blocking my comments for talking about weak dollar. Jim D, where? In the YouTube comment section? You talking about? Decent biometric. Yeah, biometric. Yeah, what bots? I want to know that too. What bots? Wrapping is confusing. It is and it isn't. Once you get a hang of it, I mean, wrapping, all you're really doing is I don't know, selling is not the right word, but you're moving your token over and putting a shell around it. YouTube bots. Jim D, are they blocking the comments or are your comments just getting buried? I assume you're talking about the comment section. Multi-effective domino effect happening right now. 20 plus variables. We are winning the lottery in slow motion. Yo, Patriot. I'm pinning that. Patriot just dropped a bomb. Read his message, everyone. Pin that bad boy. Is staking available? Hold on, I pinned a comment. I can't read the comment section. Where is that? Lucification. I definitely chopped it. My bad. We'll call you L. Is staking available yet? Staking on what? XRP? Staking on XRP you talking? Are we talking about Flare over there? XRP's at $1.86 and dropping. I don't know. It's been holding $1.86 since we started the stream. We're in a good spot. We got to pay attention to Bitcoin right now. What XRP is going to do, it's all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin wants to drop down even further, XRP will retest $1.70 range. If that breaks, $1.50 range as well. That's all we got to look at. Flare staking, yeah, flare staking is available 100%. Ondo and Axel time frame, you think? Nit, as soon as we get the altcoin run, I'm expecting Bitcoin to make a push now. I'm not going to say a new high. It's not going to make a new high. I'm expecting Bitcoin to make a run up to the upper 90s, upper $100,000 region. Once that happens, we'll see the altcoins start to push up. We'll then see the big deep correction on Bitcoin back under 74,000, which will validate the bear market for Bitcoin, and then alts will start to push up and run. Is what we're going to be looking at. Did you hear about the validator issue with Algorand? I did, and I'm not happy about it. And I'll tell you right now, Algorand will not be a crypto moving forward. I'm hoping to make money on it this cycle. I should. I'm going to take profits, and then Algorand will not be in my crypto playbook moving forward anymore. It will not be there. 90% correction. No, those days are done. 90% correction. Those days are over. Let me rephrase that. 90% corrections on your real assets, the ones that have ETFs, utility index funds backing them, those days are over. Your shit coins, your meme coins, those will still have 90 to 95% corrections, and they might not ever recover. But XRP 90% correction, no shot. Bitcoin 90% correction, no shot. Bitcoin's bottom 60,000 before its next push up, which is going to be, anywhere, I would say between 200,000 and 500,000 would be the next range. I know it's a wide range. Remember, it's also super early to call where this thing's going to go. But Bitcoin's bottom from here is probably around 50 to 60K is what we're looking at. Should I clean put my algo? I'm in profit. I still think, Rick, we're going to make money on it. I still think it's going to run here. I wouldn't do it yet. I would wait for it to run, and then I would get out of it, is what I would do. On it. Matt, so what two other cryptos do you think will do best once we start recovery? The ones that got ETFs, no brainer. So Ethereum's gonna be an absolute monster. I still believe ETH's going to 8 to 13,000. They have a huge deal announced today from JP Morgan. ETH's no brainer. Anything built off of ETH is going to do very, very well. Chainlink's going to be a no-brainer. Ondo will be a no-brainer. Solana's going to recover very well. XRP is going to recover very well. Binance Coin's going to recover very well as well. Kai Graham, Ondo was my biggest accumulation in 2025. Would love to hear more about Ondo. Love that. Ondo is my second biggest holding. It took it over from Chainlink this year. I went hard on it. It was an over the counter for me when I got my Ondo. I tell everyone, if I was getting into crypto today, I would be buying Ondo for the next 4 years. I would be buying it every single week. I don't care if it was $10 or $100. I think Ondo's a $25 to $50 coin. I really do. This bull cycle, I think 3 to 5 is super conservative. if some crazy shit happens and we just sort of going over to Solana now as well, I think we can get close to a double digit on it. Yeah, Ondo's BlackRock. Yeah, Ondo's going to shock a lot of people. A lot of people going to be kicking themselves in the ass. Oh, I didn't buy it at 40 cents. What was I doing? It is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. My dollar cost average is like 90 cents. I'm down big time, but I don't care. I know where it's going. You know, we can't predict what's going to happen like this, how markets are going to react. Ondo's going to be a major player in this game. A major player in this game. David, Bitcoin 59,500. You think that's the bottom? If you think that's the bottom, yeah, it's going to be in that range somewhere. It's going to be in that $50,000 range. I do believe. Please explain Ondo. So Ondo, what they're doing is they're tokenizing stocks. You see everything is moving. They just made an announcement today that the NASDAQ is going over to be a tokenized. They're trying to get a 24/7, 365. So they're tokenizing everything. So what Ondo's doing is a tokenizing the stock market. I believe they have 300 tokenized stocks right now. They stated 1,000 by the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to come to life. If not, we'll see it early next year. But everything that get tokenized through Ondo, partner with BlackRock, partner with Ripple, partner with Chainlink already. They're a sleeper. They got a huge conference coming next year. They just announced it. Major players are going to be there. Swift's going to be there. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs. All the big names are going to be there. So Ondo's a sleeping giant. Quant all day. Yeah, Quant's been pissing me off lately. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think I'm still up on Quant. I think I might be at break even on Quant. It's just, it got to go, man. $100. It just needs to break 100. 100 is just such a tough level for it. Quant or Link, Chainlink. Chainlink all day. Chainlink all day. Chainlink is more established at this point, and they're working with the DTCC. They're working with Ripple, and they are working with Swift. So to me, Chainlink is the no-brainer out of those two. What are your thoughts on Casper? Nothing. Why is XRP so heavily manipulated? In my opinion, that's a good question. Why is it manipulated? I think they're trying to distract people. I think that's a good phrase around it. I think they're trying to distract you with other shiny objects. I also think that, I don't know if manipulation is the right word to use, but I think because we're dealing with banks and governments and we're dealing at such a high level with who Ripple is trying to partner with and get the adoption of the network itself, that it takes them a very long time to change. So I don't know if we can call that manipulation as far as that aspect of it. I just think it's the problem it's trying to fix or solve, whatever word we want to wrap with it. And that's why it's taking some time. But as we see, when it's coiled, it usually blows. You know, we just seen a 700% move in November after being coiled around 50 cents. So manipulated, yeah, by market makers, 100% on that. But I think as far as growing the adoption, it's just the people that we are actually working with. And they see it as a threat, right? They don't want to go out of existence. Or Western Union, MoneyGram, they know this is competition. PayPal, right? Venmo. So I think that's why. Is IDEA dead? No, IDEA is one of those coins. It doesn't move and won't move until alts are going. Quant limited supply. Yeah, that's the good thing about Quant. Limited supply is 17 million. Darth, I still got all my idea. All of it. I actually got to log in. It's on, I think it's on KuCoin. You got to log in. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing. When Quant moves like it flies. You know, and that limited supply of 17 million is peanuts. So when it goes, it goes. We just need it to go. Jailbreak tips 21. XRP will be $1 and below. Only when you go to sleep tonight, my friend. In your dreams. So I got ICP. It's been a shit show. I like ICP. I like what they're doing. It hasn't been a fun ride. So I'm still bullish on ICP. Nothing's changed. I don't know anything about TokenBot or Sky. Nothing about those. Why focus grandfathers like OGs, Bitcoin, and ETH cause familiar for masters war bias? Why focus? Oh, I don't. Jailbreak, a drop like that will cause mistrust in XRP and will not recover ever. No. You have to understand, XRP doesn't care about our feelings. XRP doesn't care about retail. XRP cares about one thing and one thing only: the institutional use case. That's all it cares about. There is very, very real demand from the institutions. Done over $1 billion from ETFs. They keep buying it every single day. It is the best performing ETF of the year above Solana. XRP just doesn't care about us. It doesn't care we want it to go higher. Institutions are just going to quietly stack it and keep stacking it at these prices. And if the institutions are buying it, guess what? RIP's buying it as well. That's it. That is it. When the market moves, it's going to be a rubber band effects. Damn right it is. Kai grab 5-year Ondo, 25 to 50 bucks. 25 to 50 bucks. When, yeah, that's the thing. We need utility. What's the announcement that will limit break XRP in your opinion? Usage. The first announcement we get from a major bank, a major government, a country, a central bank, that they are actually using XRP, that's it. Then you'll just see everyone flood in at that point. It only takes one to do it. One to do it. Even if we get a BlackRock ETF, a BlackRock ETF announcement will do it as well. We'll do it as well. If, worst case scenario, if we do not see any of these announcements by the end of 2026 and the retirement accounts start to kick in where they're able to buy ETFs, XRP will benefit from that then. Will benefit from that because that will be a bi-weekly crazy amount of money coming into XRP, buying it up. And we'll hit a supply shock at that point. Do I think X payments will be XRP or Doge? Not going to be XRP. I don't even think it'll be Doge, to be honest with you. I don't know what he's doing. He's a freaking madman. I don't know what that man's doing. Jim D, XRP also cares about the burn and loss rates as crypto gets lost. Any word on the clarity bill? Yeah, it's pushed back, they said. Next year, 2026. I would say early. I would say Q1. Q1 it gets signed over, is what I'm saying. The original soak. So everything we've seen reported, is it just plans or future agreements? I think it's a combination of both, right? It's plans and agreements, but no one is actually live. That's the key difference here. No one is really, I don't say, let me rephrase that because I know I'm going to get shelled in the comments section for that, saying that Rip said no one's live with XRP. No one is live at scale for every day where it just runs in the back end like your TCP IP runs, like email runs. That is what we need. Do you believe that BlackRock are waiting for future regs before bringing out XRP ETFs? No, we got all the regulations we need in place for ETFs. I think BlackRock is waiting for their moment, right? I think they're going to continue. I think here's what I think BlackRock's doing. I think BlackRock is going to continue making crazy amount of money on their Bitcoin ETFs. And then I think once Bitcoin flips back over into this bear market, which is going to come at some point, right? I think BlackRock will then come out with an XRP ETF, and then they'll start making money on that because no one's going to really be buying this BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. So I think they're trying to make as much money as they can possible off of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin then flips over and the sentiment starts to change, that's when the ETF for BlackRock comes to life. And then they start making money on that. Bank of Malaysia, I think, is running XRP daily. I don't think it's at scale though, right? I don't think it's not plugged into everyday use, like where everything's running on it. Fox Business is showing XRP ticker when showing top crypto. It's about time, Adam. How many years did they ghost it for? They ghosted that shit forever. I still like when they put it up there, but they call it Ripple, right? They're showing the Ripple ticker, which is wild. What is the lowest you think XRP can go? The X Riddler. We talked about it earlier. I think there is a possibility of getting a flash crash to like 98 cents. It would be a flash crash though. It would be what you saw October 10th when Binance pulled all the liquidity. It wouldn't last long. No one's probably gonna be able to buy it. I don't really count on that happening. That's your worst case scenario. I think right now, what I would be paying attention to is are we gonna bounce from this level? Which I think we do. If we don't bounce from this level, $1.70, $1.50 is what we could be looking at. So that's what I'm thinking. But look, I think I'm gonna wrap it there. We've been live for an hour and a half, everyone. Just wanted to pop on, just tell everyone, take a deep breath. We're gonna be all right. It's coming to an end. This manipulative stage, this coiled up stage, it's gonna continue to the upside. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. I'm gonna go watch a little bit of probably like 20 minutes of this football game if it's not already halftime before I want to get into bed. Remember, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the normal live stream. Turn on the notifications. Come out to that. Come ask more questions. We'll talk about the markets. We'll do updates on it. And we'll just keep it going. You know what I mean? But just relax, everyone. Breathe. This is okay. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened. The bull market's not over. XRP is still going to make a brand new all-time high at some point in 2026. I'm going to leave it like that. Dolphins Steelers. That's who's playing. Have an amazing night. Make sure you check out the YouTube video that just dropped talking about XRP's price prediction in 2026. Am I paid to promote XRP? No, I wish. That would be something. That'll be a dream job. No one pays me anything. I do this because I love XRP, I love Ripple, and I love crypto. That is why I am here. That is the only reason I am here. And to educate everyone else. You're welcome, Adam. But I'm going to cut it right there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy.